Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. As you all know, I tend to use a lot of these bottles in order for watering my plants. Now these are basically the liquid detergent that we use for washing our clothes. I use that bottle as a watering can because I didn't want to purchase, and any which ways these plastic bottles come very handy. I have another two more, so I tend to use these as my watering cans. And I used to also use this to mix the fertilizers as well, but unfortunately, as you can see, these bottles are opaque, so I was not able to measure, or I was not able to see how diluted the fertilizer is. So it was becoming very difficult. So I was looking out for a bottle that could be transparent, at the same time I can make it into a DIY bottle. And that's where, when I went to a restaurant recently, I found this drinking water bottle. And the moment I seen this bottle, I was like, I have to get this bottle. So I purchased this bottle because this is a completely transparent bottle. This is a 1 liter bottle, and I have added a straw to it. Basically, I made a hole over here and I added a straw to it. So in this, I will be able to see when I tend to add the fertilizer, because we have to dilute the fertilizer, as I tend to use liquid based fertilizer. So it's very important for me to dilute it, and I wanted to see how it looks after it has been diluted, because I do not want to use it in a very concentrated form, because otherwise that will damage the plant. So luckily I found this in the restaurant. I went ahead and purchased it. So today I will be using this to fertilize the plant, and I'll show you how I'm going to be doing it. So what is the fertilizer that I tend to use? It is this, is called as the compost tea, or the liquid that comes out from the compost bin. Now you can see it is in a completely concentrated form. If I'm going to use this directly into the plant will definitely die. It will get burnt. So there is no way that I can use this in a concentrated form, because if you're going to use this in a concentrated form, the plant will definitely die. The roots will get burnt. The plant will also get burnt. Even though this is made out of the kitchen waste, when we tend to make the compost, the liquid tends to come out. Even though this is completely organic, there is no chemicals, but still you cannot use this in a concentrated form. So I'm going to show you how to dilute it and how much to be used, because we have to carefully measure it and use it. We cannot use too much of it, otherwise the plant will get burnt. So I have my bottle over here. I'm going to quickly fill it up a little bit. And there we go. This is all that we need. You can see how much little I have used. So this is all that we need to use, and now we need to fill this up with water. So let me quickly fill this up with water, and there we go. I have filled it with some water. You can see this. This is how the color should look like. Very light tea color, not very dark. It should be like this. Put the lid on. There we go. Our fertilizer is ready. Always remember, guys, please dilute the compost tea. Do not use it directly into the plants, otherwise your plant will die, because it is in a very concentrated form. You have to dilute it in water. I might have probably used only 1/4 of it, and this is how the color is going to look. Even if the color is little lighter than this, is absolutely okay. There is no issue, because this is okay to be used every 15 days, probably every once a month, depending upon how heavy feeding your plant is. If it's a rose plant, I will use this every 15 days. If it's any other plant, probably once in 3 weeks or once in 4 weeks, I tend to give this for my plants. So let us quickly fertilize one of the plant. I'm going to show you one of my philodendron that I'm going to be giving this fertilizer to. So here I have my philodendron Prince of Orange. You might have remembered I had made a video on it. You can see the new leaf is coming up, completely orange, dark orange in color, looks absolutely beautiful. And there is a new leaf also coming up. It's still inside the caterpillar. So this is my Prince of Orange, looks absolutely beautiful. So I will be going ahead and adding some fertilizer, the one that I've recently made. But before that, I will have to moisten the soil, because always remember, whenever you are adding any kind of fertilizer, because you can see the soil is completely dry, never add fertilizer to dry soil. That will damage the plant. We have to moisten the soil a little bit before we add any kind of fertilizer. Now just for this video, I'm showing it to you, but usually what I tend to do is, let's say, suppose if I have to fertilize this plant today, one day prior I tend to moisten the soil. So usually the soil tends to stay slightly moist whenever I tend to add fertilizer. So ensure that you are moistening the soil before adding any kind of fertilizer. This is more than enough. Any which ways our fertilizer is already mixed with water, and then you just add it a little bit. You can see my bottle is working out really well, and then we are going to add water until the water starts passing through the drain hole. There we go. So you can see my DIY fertilizer bottle is working out really fantastic, so I'm very happy with it. I think I'll have to add a little bit more. Okay, the water has already started to pass through the drain hole, you can see. So we are completely done with the watering as well as adding of the fertilizer. Now of course this plant will do quite well because it requires a little bit more energy as it is putting out a lot of new growth. You can see this is the new growth coming up. Also another new leaf coming up in the cataphyll. So I'm very excited about this DIY bottle along with the fertilizer. Now I'm able to see how much of fertilizer or how diluted the fertilizer is. In case if it is very dark, I can add a little bit more water. In case if it's light, I can add in a little bit more fertilizer. So this is working out really well. This watering bottle is also very handy. Made it out of the detergent bottle, tends to work out really well. Only thing is that it was opaque. I was not able to see the fertilizer on how much quantity I have added, but this is going to work out really well. So guys, you can see it is pretty simple to make your fertilizers at home, to make your fertilizer bottles also at home with all the waste products that we have at our home, in our kitchen. We can use anything and that is going to work out really well. We do not need to spend so much of money on these fertilizers and watering cans. You can easily make with whatever is available at home. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.